We just watched Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, and we're going to give you spoiler-free thoughts on this for the first 10 minutes, tell you if you should go watch this film, and then we'll give you a spoiler warning as always. My God. What an
out-of-pocket. What an out-of-pocket great movie.
Unexpected.
Yeah.
So unexpected.
Okay, I have to ask, did you go into this movie with any trailer information?
Nothing. Not
Me
a thing.
either. I didn't even know what this movie was about. I genuinely thought for a moment it was about Nirvana.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
the band Nirvana. You're going, of course, this is probably a little feature film about the band. Nope. No. This is knowing no context until after watching the movie. And maybe this is a good sign. So if you have no idea what this is and haven't heard of Nirvana,
here's the thing. There's going to be three sections here. There's going to be the first section. No spoilers at all. We are giving our opinion here. Please, just go watch it. Know nothing. If you know nothing about this movie, just go watch it. Click off this video. Go. Right?
Yeah.
After this, we're going to give context of what the tone of the movie is, what the the theme, the genre of the movie, but no actual spoilers. Then we'll do spoiler section. So,
of course, yeah.
Go watch the movie if you haven't. Now, if you want to be convinced about tone and what the movie is actually about, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, the background of this is these two guys. So the characters, the cast, Matt Johnson and Jay McCarroll, they had this web series in real life that existed back in the early 2000s. And I had no idea what this web series was. This is apparently a very popular web series by these Canadians, and it I guess in do you know anything about it? Had you watched it? Had any of that context?
None.
And that, I would say that is very good news for those of you who don't know what that is and have no idea what I'm talking about. Rich and I walked into this movie not even knowing who they are. I don't even know who these two actors are in the first place. I'm that out of the loop, and the movie works perfectly for somebody who has zero idea. And I imagine the people who did watch the actual web series and are fans of it are blown away because, my God, this web series that they grew up on is now this amazing movie, especially because I found this out, the filmmakers in the movie, because this is a mockumentary, we'll get into that in a second, but the people who are helping make this movie were fans of the show growing up. So they were fans of the show when they were in high school or even middle school. They grew up on this thing, and now the actual filming of the movie they get to do with Matt Johnson and Jay McCarroll. And so Matt Johnson and Jay McCarroll, this thing the movie's built up on is they do these kind of sketches, this fun, these jokes, these SNL-like skits, is from my understanding of this. But the important context to the movie of what the plot is, and I'm going to give very spoiler-free on the plot because there's some stuff in this that you should go absolutely blind into. But the big thing is these two characters, Matt and Jay, have since 2008 have been trying to have their duo band play in this bar called, what was the bar's name again? Do you remember top of your head?
The Rivia?
Yeah, the Rivoli.
The Rivoli.
The Rivoli. They're trying to play in the Rivoli, and Matt is drawing on the whiteboard, and he has these crazy ideas he's coming up with to get him and Jay to be able to play at this local bar, essentially. And he comes up with wild ideas, and Jay's there just listening and going along with it, and he comes with these ridiculous schemes, and the very first scheme and his idea is, hey, we're going to go on the top of the CN Tower in Toronto, I believe, right? We're going to go on top of the CN Tower, and we're going to cut the wires. We're going to parachute down into the baseball stadium, I think, where the Blu-rays play, or not Blu-rays, the Blue Jays play. We're going to parachute into the stadium, and we're going to announce, hey, we're playing at the Rivoli, guys. We're playing at the Rivoli, which, by the way, they're not playing in the Rivoli yet, but he's so confident that this will be such a successful scheme that he parachutes down into that they're just going to have to play them in the Rivoli because it was such a genius plan. And that's the first 5 minutes of the film, just like this crazy plan he comes up with. It's a comedy, it's a mockumentary filmed in Canada, and it's both funny, but it's not just that.
Yeah. It is at the heart of it about, two friends and their ridiculous schemes and what they mean to each other. That fair?
Yeah,
Well,
very
yeah.
fair. Very fair, yeah.
I feel like that's enough for spoiler free though. I want to kind of go into the actual details of it.
Of course.
Is there any further information we want to give?
What do you think? How would you pitch this? Who do you think would like this movie?
Okay. Honestly, if you got I think this is what I really enjoyed about this movie was going to see it with you of like your bro. You got your best friend, you go to the movie with like this, it hits that homes. It hits it really well. If you're really a big fan of those kind of ridiculous, kind of dumb type of movies, Dumb and Dumber, Bill and Ted, all of this kind of stuff, it's got a similar vibe.
I related to the spirit of it, of instead of on the whiteboard trying to play at the Rivoli, imagine, hey, let's start a YouTube channel and podcast.
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
What
if we do this and then here, Rich, this was a couple years ago now, but Rich goes to me, okay, I got an even better idea. You quit your job, I pay your rent, and then we just do the channel more. We just do it more. And I'm like, Rich, that's genius. And I related to the movie too much.
I did too.
I was going, what the hell?
I did too.
We're the idiots.
Yeah, I know.
It somehow worked. But and so that is the spirit of the movie. It's a comedy. It's also heartwarming. And there's a joke in here, which not going to give away the joke until spoiler section, that had me cackling so hard. It was so good. And it being a mockumentary style, they break the fourth wall in it. You'll see that kind of stuff. Go watch the movie. I mean, what is your spoiler-free rating for the movie, Rich?
Overall, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. It's a spectacular movie.
I give it a 4.75 out of 5. Yeah. Nearly floored me. It's just does so much so well.
Yeah, it's a must-see. Got to go see it this year. I'm sad we're a little late to it. We're a little late to the party, but I'm glad we got to see it at all.
I would say anybody that is on the fence, if you're still on the fence to go watch this movie, I can say it's the most unique and interesting film you'll see in a long time. Very creative. That's one thing I don't think we emphasize enough. The creativity of the plots and how much imagination went into this is awesome to see. And I would say, I'll leave it at that. But I'll say at the very least, you could see our scores down below for what our highest and lowest ratings are. My highest was plot for this movie. What was your highest category?
It was emotional impact and plot.
Nice. And my lowest, and it's not bad whatsoever, was thought-provokingness, but it's still great.
Agreed.
So, yeah. All right. Without further ado.
Spoilers.
Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning.
All right, plot summary.
Yes.
This will be pretty quick in all honesty.
Overall plot summary of the movie.
Jay and Matt have their scheme to jump into the arena from the CN Tower, but before they're able to get all the way down, the dome actually closes. Plan failed, and Jay is sitting there going like, I have wasted like 17 years with this idiot. I would be far more successful without him. All I have, and then he does this one thing where Matt is trying to come up with all these harebrained schemes, and all Jay does is he picks up the phone. It's just like, hey, local joint.
It was actually
it was just some venue in
Ottawa, or where was it? It was hours away. It was not in
Ottawa.
City.
It was just going like, hey, can I play?
Yeah.
And they're like, sure. Yeah. It's an open session. Like, we'll put you down for 8:00 or whatever. It's like,
the hilarious thing, he'd even think to call the Rivoli, which
yeah,
they probably would also
have been fine. And he's like, oh my God. So he tries to leave. He tries to leave without Matt. And subsequently, Matt has this other scheme he's going on, like let's fake time travel. Well, the fake time travel is actually real time
Back to
travel.
the Future
Back
mechanics.
to the Future.
Yeah.
They go back to 2008. And this whole system where then they accidentally change history where now Jay is super successful in the future.
because they see their younger selves in their old house. Because they have to grab this bottle of Orbits because that is how the time travel mechanic works.
Sure.
Because it does.
Well,
Because
it's a lightning in every bottle.
But yes, when you spill it in the time machine thingy, it ends up working. So as they're stealing that, Jay opens up to Matt and says, "Hey, this morning I wasn't going with your time travel scheme. I was trying to go solo, man. But now I kind of realize the meaning of friendship." And Matt goes, "You know what? We'll see who's better off," and erases what was on their board back in 2008 and puts "Don't play the Rivoli." And the fact that 17 years ago, putting on the whiteboard "Don't play the Rivoli," it changes this butterfly effect for the rest of their lives.
And it turns out Jay actually would be super successful. He's mega rock star, and Matt is still, doing the same thing. But ultimately, Jay realizes, it's not the same. It's not friend. The fame and success is nothing without my best friend. And then he also kills somebody.
What a great Chekhov's gun there, because earlier in the film, Matt was playing around with a toy gun to cheer Jay up. And Jay's in this, he's in this future where he's super rich and he's super famous. He sees this gun on the wall thinking it's a fake gun. Goes to shoot somebody, to play around. It's real. Blows the guy's brains off. Now he's on the run from the law because he doesn't realize quite yet the power of friendship. He gets these little flashes, but as soon as he kills that guy, he wants to go back in time 2 days ago, not back to 2008 to reverse all this alternate timeline that happened. He wants to go back 2 days ago, right before he killed the guy, and still live this life of fame. He would still wants to do that. And then Matt is working with Jay, but Matt still thinks this version of Jay is a new Jay who is unknown, who doesn't have the history of time traveling with him and is a different type of person because Jay's pretending to not know Matt, and leads to this climax of scene. They go back to the CN Tower, and
ultimately, Jay realizes that Matt realizes that Jay remembers him. Jay is cognizant of their time travel and only wants to go back in time 2 days and not 17 years to repair their future. But Matt decides to sacrifice himself for Jay by the end, and Jay sees it, realizes it, and instead of going back 2 days, he goes back 17 years and resets the timeline. That's the movie.
That's the movie.
All right. What did you give overall? Or overall, emotional impact, sorry.
4.5 stars, spectacular.
Yeah, I gave a 4.75. Nearly floored me.
Yeah.
I was out loud laughing so many times in this movie. I was feeling every emotion that they wanted me to feel. I was there.
This is the comedy and the heartwarmingness. I think, firstly, some specific scenes to bring up. The funniest scene in this movie to me, and there's plenty of jokes that someone probably missed. It was geniusly written, where they're back in 2008. The time travel actually works. Just Back to the Future time travel, and we the viewers see all of these different 2008 symbols that will go, okay, we're back in 2008. Like, you see the billboards, you see the Hangovers playing, you see these cars, you see obvious signs that you are back a couple decades ago almost now. Yeah. And Matt, they have this idea to go into the movie theater to watch The Hangover, still thinking, we're still in 2025. Yeah, it's 2025. Yeah. Sits down to watch The Hangover, and in the movie The Hangover, in the movie The Hangover, the characters in the movie, there's a scene in The Hangover where they're saying like the word faggot a lot, like faggot, and then the whole theater erupts in laughter after them joking about faggot, and the whole theater erupts. The only person not laughing is Matt.
He's looking around.
He's going,
seeing everyone openly laugh at the word faggot,
and
we've gone back in time.
It's geniusly written. It's genius.
It's so funny.
And that's the thing that he realizes we are now back in time. Just like how much culture has shifted.
I love it.
It was hilarious.
It was the best setup for the joke.
Oh, hilarious!
How
and
it
you
lands,
you
it's-
know they set up, they made so much of the plot work that way in order to set up that joke, because The Hangover came out in 2009, I'm pretty sure, but this was a early screening in 2008 they were showing. Like, they did so much to make sure this joke could be set up. Oh,
I
lovely
loved it.
payoff. It was hilarious. And it was the dramatic music and his face going,
Oh no! It was his acting, like the realization moment when he's looking around. Oh,
we're back in time. Hilarious.
got it. Yeah, that was by far
Standout joke.
the funniest joke. I loved it.
It's very creative. I love how much too of that the multiple layers of the joke of it, you just feel so you feel so swept away. Like, why are they going to see The Hangover, and what is this? Seems so random, and then the payoff of it is so great. What other big jokes for you really landed and got you to laugh out loud?
I mean, ton of the situational humor
Yeah.
of there's some parts of this filming where I'm wondering we're all, like, of course a lot of them are actors and a lot of them, set up these scenes. I think some of the scenes are like genuine bystanders. I don't know, because some of the reactions are very funny of
I bet, yeah.
them doing these kind of ridiculous things, wearing this ridiculous costume, and just people like reacting as people normally would rather than how they would act in a movie.
Yeah.
Especially there's the scene with
The French lady at the end.
the French lady at the end.
That's one.
I'm betting, maybe not betting, but like I think at the tower, at the CN tower, where they go up to the woman and saying like, oh, first he asks her, hey, what's the time or anything like that, and the second time's like, oh, I remember you.
That was
I
probably only
wonder-
5 minutes later, right?
No.
Think so?
I bet it was filmed in reverse.
Oh,
At
okay.
first, he goes up to her and it's like, I remember you. And she's like, no, we don't. And then the second
Gotcha,
time he
yeah, yeah.
reversed, they filmed the first scene.
that makes sense. That's smart.
I'm wondering if some of that is
But
in play.
it was
but
probably like within 5 minutes of each other, they filmed that scene, so she was
Yeah.
still there.
Yeah.
Which is smart.
also the hardware store scene of the
The
guy.
guy going, I'm a libertarian.
I'm a libertarian. You're allowed to do what you want. I'm going to jump off the CN tower.
Hey, listen,
I'm
man.
a libertarian.
I mean, you'll probably electrocute yourself and all that and be dead, but hey. That was also funny.
God.
I love the consistent bit of every time there was a flashback looking back to something that one of Matt or Jay said. It would be that followed by something that didn't actually happen in the flashback. So,
Yeah.
for example, when at the end of the movie, Matt sees that, oh, Jay's a murderer and on the run, it flashes back to Jay when they were coming up with, oh, how do we travel back in time? What's going on? Jay actually in the movie, what he said was, hey, what if we
Could we
went
go
back 2 days, for example? But then it adds in afterwards what he didn't do, because I killed somebody. it fills in that context constantly, which is like a fun bit that continues throughout.
Yeah. No, I did like how that got even more and more ridiculous, but that just all of their harebrained schemes actually, like, they actually do it. What a shocking moment of them legitimately jumping off the CN tower. And you
I
just
didn't
kinda,
expect them to.
You kind of think like, oh man, this is a bunch of idiots. They're gonna get stopped. Like somehow, like I don't know. You don't really expect it, and then they actually
They do.
And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really funny.
Yeah, so shot. How tense was it too? The end of the movie with actually traveling back to time with the cops on them. So you had each one trying to come. Now each of them were on the run from something. Him from this, Matt from this future he didn't want, and Jay from the murder he just committed. So this is the best Back to the Future movie, bar
Yeah, I
none.
love it.
Back to the Future 4 slaps, and you can't even say that in the spoiler-free section.
Yeah, I slipped it in there, but I mean, this is very much our modern day Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. That movie is, two best friends going back in time and like.
I haven't actually
It's
seen that, but
ridiculous.
is that what the vibe is?
It very
Intense.
much. Yeah, they're
Gotcha.
both kind of idiots, but they're going back in time, and it's their testing their friendship and all this.
Nice.
They get to make historical characters. This one, it's a similar trope, similar vibe. In Bill and Ted, it is the time machine thing that they're kind of parroting is Doctor Who's TARDIS. They have a phone booth, and this one it's Back to the Future.
Nice,
Yeah.
Nice. I also loved the bits about the consistent the mockumentary style of it being the filmmaker friends of how they're just there in the future. They don't react. The implication they don't react to being put into the future. They're just so dedicated to the craft of this mockumentary that they're just filming Matt and Jay, and they're there. And then Matt and Jay will play off of them sometimes. You also had the really fun bit where Matt comes back when they're back in 2025, the alternative 2025, and Jay's famous, Matt is not, and then you see the three guys coming downstairs, and they come up with a scheme, and they're pitching it to Matt, going, all right, here's how we're going to get tickets to Jay's show, which he comes to find out is Jay's show, and he's going, all right, guys, of course, this is the lesson, I get it. This is your bit. This isn't real. Jay, come downstairs. While the bit, it's very real, and the bit they're saying is, hey, we're gonna be Chinese. From these white dudes, these very white dudes are going, hey, I'm gonna convince his mother or grandmother, whoever it was, that my father and mother are Chinese, and this ridiculous ploy just to show it. I
love
just
that
so
it works too.
Yeah, and the plan also
show
works.
Up in, I guess it's yellow face. They're not wearing paint, but they're wearing
it's the hats.
They're wearing the hats. They're it worked. Okay,
great.
It's funny that it worked. That's the joke, but it's
yes.
That, but then Matt looking at one of his cameramen saying well, he came back in time with me, but you're new. You could be working with Jay.
Yes.
I don't know you.
Yes.
And he's still dedicated to the bit. Yeah.
Lovely. And so why didn't you give it the 5? Anything you could say okay, it did everything awesome. You laughed out loud so much. Why not? Because we're talking how funny this movie was and how awesome of a time we had.
It is that maybe it's the thought-provoking nature of it.
For an emotional impact?
Yeah, well, it affects it. Of do I feel like this deep connection between the two main characters? And am I super invested in their friendship? I'm invested. I'm just not.
Okay.
I'm having a fun time.
Yeah.
I didn't have a overall moving time.
Gotcha. The way I describe it.
There's some jokes that are just they're fine, but not laugh out loud funny.
Also, some of the ones I think we would get more if we'd watched the show and probably get more out of it. So those that are fans, we're missing some of them, I'm sure. And so for me, the only reason, and this is going to be for other people, they'll not feel the same, but I laughed a lot during the movie, and it almost got me to start feeling deep and emotional about their friendship in that. I was looking for a good cry in the end. I didn't get, because I was looking...
That's what I was meaning,
The thing I was looking deep down for was this movie could have very much leaned into the cry factor of, the flashbacks of looking at their friendship. It almost got there, but it was just the comedy outweighed the emotional gut punch to me. And for example, there's the movie, one of my favorite movies too is Jojo Rabbit. And have you seen Jojo Rabbit? Yep. Right? Jojo Rabbit's both a absolutely hilarious film, but then also makes me devastated at the same time and cry. And I think that's the one thing I was going, all right, I'm waiting for that real tear to happen. And it still did it very well. But
you put it better than I could. That's exactly my reason.
That's the thing with you were looking for the cry, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It got close in the sense of I could see they were trying it, but just it's not the dominant factor of this movie. And so,
well, yeah, perfect. We agree then. Well, what do you think then about Thought-Provoking? So, what did you give that out of 5?
I gave it a 3.75. I think it's really good.
I gave it a 4. I gave it a great.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's the power of friendship. Really, it's really what it is. It's just, hey, the ultimate message of the movie is all the success, all the great things you do in life are not meaningful unless you have somebody to share it with.
Yeah,
ultimately, it. And a fine enough message, good message. You got got to share the success. Like it's it's lonely at the top.
Yeah.
And so it's better to have a best friend than be uber successful and alone.
Yes. It's a very simple message, but executed very well.
Exactly.
And that's a part of what makes it charming. And it's so thematically sound. How it executes that message is you also know the direction it's probably going to go. It's fun to see it play out. And also, I guess we have Jay's perspective, that's his lesson he learns.
Mm-hmm.
And he learns, hey, it is lonely at the top. But then what do you think is Matt's lesson? Do you think he has a big thing to be told in this movie?
Yeah, ultimately he realizes that he can be overbearing in the sense of like it's always his scheme. It's not including Jay with it. A lot of his schemes will include like him first and like promoting himself, and like Jay is kind of the afterthought. And so Matt should appreciate Jay a lot more, especially since Matt realizes Jay could be incredibly successful musician on his own. Of like it is not. He does realize like, hey, I'm holding Jay back to some degree. So I think it's that stuff. And then he appreciates his friend. He does the noble sacrifice for his buddy.
Yeah,
I think that's the main thing: is appreciate your friend.
Yeah, the noble sacrifice moments where I guess he has that realization or does it for Jay. I would have liked the leaning a little bit more into his conscience or his guilt a little bit towards Jay, but I agree that's what it's going for too. This is just one of those movies that you've seen it before. You've seen the execution. You've seen the theme of, hey, fame versus a good happy life or whatever that might be. The problems with fame,
Mm-hmm.
or just how it's not everything it's built up to be.
Yeah. And
this one having at its core with our two characters of it being this best friendship that they have together ties the movie together very well. And it's one of those things that I also appreciate, that it's a very positive message and something that a lot of comedy movies, tonally at least, a lot of comedies are so focused on the comedy they forget about the heart, and this certainly has the heart.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of goes to show of we've been seeing a bunch of different movies that either is going for just the comedy, going for just the horror. Like, there's all these different genres that the genre itself is maybe the tone and the feel, but where these movies are excellent is when it does have something to say. Even if it's a simple thing, even if it's a very basic idea, it just reminds me of something like Good Boy.
Yeah, I loved it.
It's a horror movie. It has the scares, but it has a very thoughtful message. Maybe not complex, but simple, executed well, makes you think about it for a longer time.
Oh yeah.
It's the same thing with this. It's not an overly complex message, but it's executed where you get to feel the message rather than just be told it.
Yes.
And so I think, essential.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that can easily, months and years from now, you look back to and think back to and go, hey, in real life, when you're brought up with a question of I don't know, striving for greatness or something, I think of an applicable moment. You'd think back to, hey, is all this sacrifice worth my family, my friends, whatever that might be? Because there's other movies that touch on that, like Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, name plenty of other films. But where it's asking that question between, just abandoning friends or going for the art and the craft and all these sorts of things. And this heart is really, it's really does nail that message. So, anything else?
Now let's move on to characters.
Characters, would you give it out of 5?
4.25, really great.
I give it 4.75. Nearly floored me. Yes.
Yeah, no. Of course, the main characters, Jay and Matt. I want to say right off the bat, what I liked the most about it is from the very beginning of the film, you think you kind of understand these characters. You understand their roles that they play. And they do play those roles, but there's more to them. And I think by the very beginning, you kind of think, okay, Matt is the crazy one. Matt's the, coming up with all these crazy schemes. He's an idiot. And then Jay is being held back. He's the smart one. He's the calm one. He's being led by the nose. Mm-hmm. And like, oh man, Jay could do better. And then by the time in the future, through the movie, you realize that Jay's also an idiot, but also genuinely that Jay and Matt deserve each other. They have this fun relationship. Jay enjoys all the schemes that he does with Matt.
Yeah.
I liked that a lot of how much they are similar when you don't realize it in the beginning.
Yes, these they're made for each other.
Yeah.
It's not that even though one became much more famous, that seemed to be we already know the cost of that, but he became famous, but was still the same idiot.
Yeah.
And him shooting the guy, him wanting to play Nintendo 64 with everybody in the RV and them just ignoring him, being like, "What are you talking about? What's going on here?" He didn't have someone to share all that joy with. And you see, he also what did you think about his character decision to want to go back in time 2 days ago and still have that fame, have that future life, despite not having Matt by his side quite yet?
I mean, I think it makes sense in the sense, he's still learning the lesson, and at that time, he still doesn't think Matt appreciates him. That's the bigger part of. He's like, man, Matt just takes me for granted. He always comes up with these plans. He never really considers me, and he just is taking the lead every time. So he doesn't know that Matt truly appreciates. He misses Matt, but he doesn't think Matt misses him, or really cares that much about him. And so that ending scene of seeing Matt willing to sacrifice himself, Jay realized, like, not only do I miss him, but Matt also cares about me. And that's why he decides to go back in time.
It's great. It's great. Yeah, both of these characters, as far as our 5 stars more, are they irreplaceable? These two are I can't think of many how you could replace their two dynamic that without getting rid of a lot of the heart of the film, especially with Matt. I guess that archetype of character. Let's talk about Matt's character and how he's that crazy. I have an idea. You see that meme with Charlie pointing to the not billboard, sorry, the whiteboard, and having things scribbled all over and crazy. What made him kind of distinct in that archetype? Why did he have to be the character in the film, essentially?
Well, he played a very unique role with, like, a lot of your standard dumb, crazy characters that, they're coming up with these crazy plans.
Yeah.
And they're just a complete idiot, which Matt's a bit of an idiot. Can come across as jarring, unrealistic, or mean-spirited. Like, it just doesn't, like, they could be very mean. Matt seems to be a pretty nice guy around. Like, he's nice to people. He has some level of social awareness when interacting with other people. His plans are, like, yes, his plans are crazy, but he actually does follow through, and, like, they have some degree of success. Like, somehow he's not playing at the Rivoli, but it's kind of weird to think of, okay, he's willing to jump off the CN Tower and parachute in. How the hell is he not playing at the Rivoli? Like, I feel like there's some cosmic power that's preventing him from play, because I'm looking at this character going, how the hell is he not? I would think he has the guts and the, conviction to do this stuff. I would think he'd be far more successful than he is. It makes you, it's fun like that. But then you also see a little bit of vindictive side. I love the scene with thinking that he's just like this idiot, falling, like, it takes Jay for granted, and just, I don't know, overly happy all the time.
Yeah. But
when he finds out Jay tried to leave and play without him, he's spiteful. He's, he gets incredibly jealous, and just, so I like that to him.
Yeah, me too.
But it just gave
more layers,
a fun back and forth layers where I didn't always know what the character was going to do. And sometimes the character would surprise me with their actions, but it felt justified. It didn't feel like a rug pull for their character.
Especially when his character motivation is going to the Rivoli, and when the time machine's working, going back in time, his singular focus is still the Rivoli.
Yeah.
And so you see how dedicated he is to the bit of he wants to play there so bad. It doesn't matter that this Back to the Future time shenanigans is going on. He will get this done. But at the same time, when Jay confronts him with, hey, I was going solo. I wasn't actually I was kind of escaping you. I wasn't doing the time machine thing with you. And he does get vindictive there. that's where he throws a wrench in it of, okay, it's not just one note. Yet, even with that one note he does have, I like how consistent his character is, that he has this, as I would describe it, as this outward passion and enthusiasm focused on the wrong thing. You ever see somebody that is just dedicated to something that is unproductive? They're so wholeheartedly. They're so. Hello. But hey, my name's Austin. But they're so dedicated and putting all this effort into something that is. Occam's razor. There's a much easier way to get what they want. Yet they're doing everything difficult. Like, instead of having short movie reviews where it's 5-10 minutes of, hey, go watch the movie. No, they feel like they've got to do the 2-hour thing, the hour and a half review, because they want to. They're just like, no, we gotta talk about the movie in all of its capacity. We can't just, it's that fun thing that I think everybody can relate to a little bit of how much have you just poured yourself into something that is not brought your fruits because there was a much easier option, right? It's such a fun idea to play with, and his flaw is putting his efforts in the wrong place when what he wants to do is play the Rivoli, but what he needs is just the friendship, right? That's ultimately what it is, because and Jay's also reflects that of, hey, his flaw is he's going along with the plans. He wants to be successful as well. And he thinks what he wants is the fame, but what he needs to learn is actually this is the lesson all along. Well, it's not about playing in the Rivoli. It's
about the scheme.
The lesson is about the journey. It's about the scheme of playing the Rivoli is what he needed. He didn't actually need the Rivoli, and the movie ending with them scheming again and not showing the CN Tower thing again, or not showing them playing at the Rivoli, is where it needed to end as well, because it's not about the Rivoli. It's about them. It's about their relationship. And that's why there are these two characters that I'm going to remember for a long time, and they have this bond. So
it also, I think it's a great lesson of, like, I think everyone does need that type of friendship of, like, that's at least I owe much further into my life that I will still be with you, Austin, like, just coming up with schemes, like the boys and their schemes of like, oh, we're doing it for the story. The story it will not accomplish my goal. Like, I have the goal. Yes, the goal's there, and I could make the easy track, but that's not the fun way to do it.
No.
We got to come up with a scheme to do it.
You called me a couple days ago.
Great.
We were on the phone. You go, hey, so when do you want to get your pilot's license?
Yes.
Like, well, okay, let's slow down.
I was already looking up. I know. I was looking up classes.
I know you were mad.
I'm finding weekend classes.
I know. There's these times where we're swapping. Like, you play Matt, then I'll play Matt, depending on the time, depending on like what day of the week it is.
Yeah.
You're playing Matt right now, and I'm going, what do you mean? Oh my God. Okay.
You remember my idea for I think it was for our 50,000, or like I would say like, oh, whatever subscriber milestone we get to. My thought of a video is one of us film, like, you film me or I film you trying to read one page of a book while skydiving.
Skydiving,
yeah.
Yes.
Skydived.
We could still pull that off.
We could. I think we could.
Yeah.
The schemes. It's fun.
How funny is that to do? Because that was earlier on where this is for our book channel. Sorry, this is our movie channel on Tutor Ramble Movies, but we also have a book channel. And that would be funny if we were doing that like for a 1,000 subscriber special. Skydiving out of and reading a book page.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
You got to have fun along the journey. If you're not, like, why bother?
Yeah.
The goal is... The goals are cool. The story's better.
Exactly. The story is much better. It reminds me of some small things, like with Nicole, of driving 20 hours in a day just to watch the sun eclipse, the eclipse. The solar eclipse that happened a few years ago. Mm-hmm. And it was just so we could get in the spot where it's a total eclipse, because a partial eclipse was not enough.
No.
It's just about why not? It is
that is like a core chunk of why your relationship works with her. It's just, you're the Matt. You're the Matt to her Jay. She is incredibly successful. She's got the talent. She's got everything going for her.
Yeah.
You bring the life and excitement of like, oh, harebrained schemes, the spontaneity. You're the spice of life to her. And
yeah,
you'll see it.
Yeah, she went the route of like, and because I wasn't in her life like since childhood, it's why she's successful and being able to be a doctor and all the things. If we were, childhood sweethearts, high school sweethearts,
you would be holding her back.
Exactly, we would have both been a mess. So it's good she found her success.
Yes,
and then I came along. So that's also true. Which with us, we were there. From freshman year of college.
The amount of thoughts I've had of like, man,
what if
college? There's so many things I could have done better for my career and life.
Of course.
Looking at friends that have fallen by the wayside and seeing their financial and career success and going,
Liam out in New York City.
Yeah. Instead, I decided to just play poker all the time with these bozos.
Yeah. Let's go on to the next subject.
But we have a podcast.
Yeah, this movie was very relatable.
This was very relatable.
What'd you give plot out of 5 stars?
I gave it a 4.5. I thought it was a spectacular plot.
I got a 5. Floored me. Floored me. This is the category that blew my mind.
So many. One, just the fact, like, I loved the moment of actual time travel because I just did not expect it at all that it actually would work.
Yeah.
All the harebrained schemes. Like, one, it was the first big shock is them actually jumping off the CN Tower. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. And you just start, okay, this is a little bit more ridiculous. And then further on this is actually a time travel movie.
Yes.
I loved all those moments. There were so many unexpected twists and turns. It all made sense, though, at the end. I found it ridiculously fun.
Completely agreed. If we could break this down into an A plot and B plot, your A plot would be the time travel of getting back to the timeline. Mm-hmm. So it places that kind of sci-fi Back to the Future plot of we need to get back, but also there's competing motivations of who wants to get back. Jay wanted to go back 2 days and him wanting to go back to 2008 to undo what they messed up. And then that B plot is their story together. It's their relationship. And it's them wanting to play in the Rivoli, and it's that they're small, their character motivations, and
I just want to add on to it there's even so Jay doesn't learn the lesson by the end. He's still only one that goes back 2 days, but I think Matt wants to go back in time and reset the timeline. But why does he want to reset the timeline? His life is exactly the same
for the Rivoli.
The thing is, his life is the same. He's he's part of a cover band. Like the Jay is like, nope, can't do that, refuse. But he's in the same house.
Yep.
He has new friends. But
it's not Jay.
But he wants to go back in time. He's like, oh, Jay's uber successful without me. Can't have that. Let's go back in time. And so I like, again, that's the sacrifices, like him realizing that's not the reason to go back.
Yeah.
And he did not appreciate Jay.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And so the couple things about this plot that I like that the time travel as well, how it was presented, as you put, it wasn't the first shock. It was them jumping off the CN Tower was the first shock. And that let the time travel thing be also a shock, but also like, okay, this makes sense in the context of the movie already. This is crazy. I'm in for it. It just seems like such a fun movie. And this is where the creativity of it comes in. This is where the imagination just runs wild. Because you have this Back to the Future plot, but also how smart it was with their Chekhov guns. If I could describe a movie having examples of Chekhov's gun, it would be this one. Of others as well, but this one, you have the Orbitz bottle that very early on in the movie they're talking about, and it's weird how much they're focused on the bottle and the bit. You remember when they're first coming up with the whiteboard bit and focusing on that bottle of, hey, it's lightning in a bottle. And they're talking about it. I'm going, hey, is this product placement? Is what I'm thinking in my head. And come to find out, it's integral to the time traveling schemes of having to go back in time to get the Orbitz bottle. In the same way, in that first early whiteboard bit, where or when they come back after the CN Tower, and Jay is depressed. He's going, my God, another 17 years, and look at where we're at. And Matt is trying to come up with a new scheme. He sees Jay's down, and he tries to lighten him up with the toy gun. That toy gun is what leads Jay in the future, the alternate timeline, to shoot the guy, because he gets this false sense of security that it's a toy gun. So the Chekhov's gun of like what it sets up at the beginning of the movie being paid off directly in the plot is extremely smart and satisfying. That's how you get a viewer engaged. That is how to
the pliers of the store clerk saying like, oh, if you try and cut through the live wire with pliers, like you're gonna electrocute yourself. Technically, those things had rubber handles. To whatever. That's not what I should be focusing on. I understand. But that playing it, that's how he's going to connect the wire and send Jay back in time. Yeah, no,
so touching.
It works, but also I love that the flashbacks like double down. It doesn't just like show it to you; it triples down and like makes it overly obvious to the point of it becomes funny again. Because it's explaining the joke, it's explaining the Chekhov's gun, and if it just did that, I'd be like, I see it, I get it, I can remember. Don't over explain it. But then it goes, push you over your skis in the sense of like it over explains it and it becomes funny again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The joke, there's this middling of a joke where I guess it's your horseshoe theory. It works for everything. It does. If you just mention it, doesn't work. If you mention it a little bit. Sorry, if you're subtle, it works.
It works.
If you mention it, focus on it a bit, doesn't work. If you over exaggerate it, it works again.
Yeah.
It's that kind of upside down U shape.
Yep.
And yeah, so that all the Chekhov's gun are very, very smart. And just the brilliant portion of this movie of the time travel actually being the time travel making the story itself have the soul and have the heart of. I like when you take these sci-fi elements as fantasy and sci-fi readers, and that's our big thing. You take that element and put it into like an everyday life to explore something. It kind of reminded me of a little bit of Everything Everywhere All at Once, where I won't spoil anything, but there's just there's a multiverse. I mean, that's the thing you go into the movie hopefully expecting, and that element ties together the entire movie, the themes, the characters' motivation, and that's what this sci-fi element does. Because there's that complaint of, hey, is the sci-fi just superfluous to the movie? No, it uses that to the umpth degree. And little baseball analogy with the ump maybe there. In the same way, Matt in the movie is going, hey, look at that great visual joke I just made with the car coming out of there. I feel like I just fell into that trapping now. But this movie just so in my head. The plot itself as well has the tense car chase scenes at the end where you're going, oh my God, is he going to get caught? What timeline are they going to go back to? Because in my head, I was going, hey, they could go back to 2008, or there could be a world where Matt's character realizes the lesson and goes back 2 days ago. I thought that was also a possibility of goes like he was the one that ends up in the car, goes back 2 days ago to give Jay this life and realize he's the problem. Could have went either way. I was tense. I was excited to see where this went, and it led to it was blissful. It was awesome.
Yeah. No, completely agree. Oof. Yeah, no, the plot was incredibly satisfying with its shocking nature, but also perfectly reasonable. Nothing came out of like far left field that didn't make any sense. And by the end, it all felt cozy. Yeah.
As far as the mechanics of the time travel goes, so I was thinking about this. I was asking you after the movie about the logic of it, and I think I've logicked it through, and I want to hear if you agree with this, right? Because I'm asking myself, at the end of the movie, we get Jay, who has all the memories, of what happened with the time travel. We have Matt, who's unaware of what happened because he actually died in one of the alternative timelines. So I was thinking for a second of, wait, is this the time travel mechanics when you think of Back to the Future, or you look at Avengers and Endgame, these movies, you're trying to go, hey, does it make sense? And this one I think genuinely does, because there's the first scene I had was, wait, does that make sense? Is how does Jay have all the memories, but then Matt is new and has this, where is that? Because remember when they go back in time to 2008, they see their former selves, right? And also when Jay goes back in time the second time, he see their former selves are there, but also their main timeline selves went in and erased the board and changed it and are walking out. So basically he's the third Jay in that world now, right? It's the young selves, it's them in the movie we watched where they have the fight and erase go on the board. Now he's coming in to unerase it. So there's 3 Jays in that timeline, technically, right? So he goes in and changes it and now jumps back to the future. And I think the reason, and this is where I'm curious if you think this logic's out, is then when 2008 jumps back to 2025, I think every time you go back in time, so 25 back to 08 is where you add like you can't change the past. You could have infinity of you, basically. It keeps adding, and there could be a 4th J, a 5th J if you keep going back in time. But the future there's only one future timeline where it all converges back to one J and one Matt. And in this case, since Matt wasn't in the time travel machine, it's Matt from the young self just aging forward. And sorry, one last thing in here, because remember when they jump back forward into the modern timeline where Jay's famous, but there is no Jay in that reality. There is no, like, the famous Jay isn't in the house. People are wondering where he was because Jay disappears in that future reality, and it's now the Jay that time traveled takes place of the current Jay, and wherever Matt was in the world, Matt takes place of the future Matt. So basically every time they jump forward, it's one identity. But when they jump, if you go back in time, it's all happens and there could be a billion of you. But it all converges into one reality. That's what I think. That's the justification.
That makes more sense with the fact that when Jay goes forward in time, or when they go back to the alternate future, that there is only one of each of them.
Yes.
And so the ending makes more sense of Jay goes back in time, he unmesses, he fixes the timeline. He says, play the Rivoli. And then, but he was only able to go back in time because of the lightning and all this. So he doesn't have any more orbits. My guess is he found another bottle. Like, they had a case of orbits.
Yes.
He finds one more bottle.
Yeah.
And then he just goes back to the future and everything's fixed.
Yes.
That's, I guess, my guess. I had a worse theory before of thinking that, like, like I was going, he only had the one way to get back. He couldn't go back to the future. He had one trip. And it's like, well, then maybe Jay, told his younger self of, hey, make sure that in the future, when Matt tells you to, this skydiving plan, tell him to do it a little sooner in the day. And then future Jay just, like, goes away, or I don't know, to make sure the timeline has one
accurate. Yeah,
not true. Yours makes more sense.
Well,
he found another bottle of orbits.
It's the thing that kept me up last night because I was asking you in the theater and trying to think about it, and then when I got home, that was what took up the rest of my night. Was wait, how? Because I love the plot so much, it made so much sense. I was going, wait, how does the time travel mechanics work? And that's the conclusion I came to.
When you go forward in time, you take the place of your future self.
Yep.
When you go back in time, there could be multiple
versions. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I love that it works. It's just this movie has no right to work. I think that's what we were alluding to in the spoiler-free section of just the unexpected nature of it. Of how do you make this? And I guess the question of how do you make this film go right in the filmmaking. Do you want to what's your out of 5 star score for filmmaking?
I gave it a 4.0. It's great.
I give it 4.5. Spectacular.
Yeah.
This was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I had a great time. I thought the shots were great. Particular little things is, of course, it being a mockumentary. I liked what they did with it. Of when they first jumped off the CN Tower, the audio cutting in and out of, like, it's clear like they're hot mic'd to it, and it's as they're going around the building, like the audio's cutting in and out, and just the silence in the theater played so well, and it felt more real-ish,
Yep.
that played to the strength of the film. Yeah, so there's things like that. I love the mockumentary style of it.
Yeah, the way they made the actors / real life people, the people that I couldn't tell sometimes when they were actors or when they were real life people. That was awesome.
I have to imagine some of the scenes was spontaneous because some of the people these are clearly not actors. They see the camera and they think something's weird, and they're going like, "What's going on here? What is
happening?" Yeah,
like they're filming like they're acting like, well, they're filming a movie or something. This is odd. So I do think it's probably a mix. There's some, of course, there's some side actors. Probably the store clerk is an actor. That's probably not spontaneous.
If that is,
the libertarian joke is too funny to just be.
It can't be a random person, right?
It can't be a random person.
But was it a random person that remember the person that came and walked up to him and asked for something in a certain aisle?
Maybe. I mean,
the person was like, "Hey, where's this thing?"
Yeah,
and he's like, "Oh, that aisle," and continued talking. That's where I'm questioning myself. Is that an actor? And that's fantastic to ask. It's making it immersed me so well in this. Is this real? Like the mockumentary. It looks like a documentary in that way.
The one I'm most confident about is the French woman. The end, closer to the end of the movie.
She has to be a random person.
She has to be a randand person. Of just
she was so confused.
Matt just like holding the cable, and she just goes up and it's like, do you mind holding this radio? And she's like, okay. And she's just smiling, like going like, what's going on? Yeah, no, she's got to be like the random, just like going, what is this weird prank that's going on?
And he's going, yeah, don't worry, it's just my life's in danger. Like this is just the meaning of my life. It's okay. Just
about to get struck by light. That's the CN Tower. We're gonna lightning is gonna plug it in.
Hilarious.
Like, oh yeah.
I also love how they pulled off the effects and practical effects here. How they got the wire to look like it was coming from the CN Tower and dragging that along in that roly-poly, whatever you call those things, as it's carting down the street. How they made it look as if
spindle.
Thank you. that's why we work. And so the spindle and how they made it look like that was actually connected to the CN Tower, and all the shots were the mockumentary style filmmaking. They were coming to the top of the tower, the wind blowing. Everything was done in such you could tell it's a low budget. They had to work around, and I heard this was less than $2 million, maybe even $250,000. Don't quote me on that, but I heard it was very low. That's extremely low for a movie like this, and that's extremely impressive.
This is just proving so many of these different movies we've been seeing with incredibly low budgets are showing me just how bloated Hollywood movies really are. I really don't understand to some degree that a lot of these different the big CGI movies, I get it, spending hundreds of millions, understand. But a lot of these movies, like where they're spending $80 million, and I'm going, really? What'd you get for your $80 million? I don't know. Like this being $2 million, you look at something like Godzilla -1 being $8 million, I think.
Maybe 10 if that.
Maybe 10.
Clarifying, this is $2 million as a budget.
Yeah, and this looked fantastic.
It did look fantastic.
Fantastic effects. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, no, all Hollywood movies are just bloated budgets.
This has the cool aspect as well of when breaking the fourth wall, when talking and referring to the filmmakers. Here's something important. So when they went back in time, and you have the young version of them, and then you have the old version of them. Looking at the young version of them, I am almost positive that the young version of them is actually taken from their web series clips that they filmed in real life years and years ago, or something to that effect. Where a lot of their, like the hanging of the posters scene, I'm pretty certain, and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong here, pretty certain that that's them from the actual web series, and they used that old footage and integrated it into the film itself. So they're both. So I'm sure for the fans who have seen this stuff, they're going, "Oh my god, insane!" So they're both utilizing their actual web series from real life into the documentary itself, and this is where I was saying in the spoiler-free section how the filmmakers they were fans of the show itself, so of the actual web series. So when it came to connecting the storylines and the flashbacks or connecting the web series to the show, the actors who are they're the whole bread and butter of it, Matt and Jay, they were being told what to do in the right scene so that it lined up continually. It was continuous, whatever, with the web series stuff. So all of that, all of the thought that had to go into making the production work here was very intelligent. And then on top of that, you just get the exhilarated, fun scenes that actually look like an action movie at some times. And wow, comedy movies shouldn't be this, and it is.
Yeah,
I was massively impressed.
No, I'm with you. It's great filmmaking, and I was incredibly impressed. Budget, the scene shots, like also just the simple thing of when they go back in time and Matt says, "Hey, they're going to look at your fancy new cameras. It's not going to work."
Mm-hmm.
And they go, "So we're going to have to," and it's a funny joke of like, "We're just going to have to, cut everything. We just have to tell everyone that we went back in time. We can't film it."
Yeah.
And then the cameraman's like, "We could just use the old camera, like a camera from 2008. They're like, "Okay, yeah, we could just do that. We'll actually film it."
That is great too.
And so then the shot the shot quality changes. And
yes.
it worked really well.
And you get all the goth jokes and stuff with looking at the 2008
Real goths.
Wow, real goths. My goodness. It's fantastic.
I do remember that era. That was a time. That was a time and a half.
You
All the cartoons just had like every show had to have your goth representation. I remember that.
The worst part about this movie is actually the fact that I can remember 2008.
Yeah.
The movies being made now, the go back in time, is I was alive, and not just alive, like hey,
childhood.
I'm
conscious.
I was conscious alive.
Yeah.
I wasn't just 3 years old. I was, 10, 11 years old at the time? 10 years old at the time?
Yeah.
I can remember that stuff.
Yeah,
that is not acceptable.
Yeah.
You can't have time travel movies going back to...
I don't like the early 2000s being the back in time. Like, no.
What the hell is that?
The 90s. The 90s is supposed to be the nostalgia time. You're not allowed to be nostalgic for the 2000s. No,
Isn't that weird?
It's not the past. We're still in the 2000s now.
That is wild to think about. Of 2008 to now is 18 years now in 2026. What the hell?
In the year of our I believe Spider-Man 2 came out in 2008.
Was it? You do keep track of the calendar based on when Spider-Man movies did come out.
I believe so.
So
correct me if I'm wrong down below.
Actually, I could do it. Spider-Man 2 release date.
Yeah.
Let's see. How close were you? Oh, it comes up with the wrong Spider-Man 2. Tobey Maguire. Got to do that now.
Terrible.
Wow. 2004.
2004 is 2008 Spider-Man 3.
All right, let's give that a shot. Spider-Man 3 was 2007.
Darn it.
Okay, your dates are a little off.
I'm never good with
Iron
dates.
Man was 08, right?
I don't know. It could be.
Let's see. I'll double check. Iron Man
2007
movie release was 2008. Can you list anything else that came out 2008? Give your best
Well,
gut
I just
reaction.
watched that movie. Apparently Hancock came out.
Did it?
Yeah.
You watched Hancock recently?
Not recently. It was in the movie. In the movie, they showed Hancock is also playing.
Oh, right. Yes, that did come out 2008.
There we go.
All right, something that wasn't in the movie.
Released, right?
Well, yeah, something that wasn't in the movie.
Okay.
Come on, you can't just pull from the movie.
Let's see. I could not tell you.
A movie.
A movie? I don't know, man. I got
okay.
Iron Man, and I shot my shot with Spider-Man, and I was wrong. I was immediately shot down.
When was Inception? Was that? Let's see.
A little later.
Inception.
20. Hold on.
Release.
2011?
2010. You were closer though.
Damn.
Yeah, nicely done. Nicely done.
Damn.
All right. Anything else for filmmaking?
No.
Right.
We can move on to dialogue and acting.
Dialogue and acting. What'd you give it out of 5?
4.5. Spectacular.
Likewise, 4.5. Spectacular.
Yeah, I think their acting just was incredibly well done. Great roles, great acting. Fantastic. I like the dialogue a lot. We talked about the joke at the very beginning, how funny that was. So it's just faggot. We've gone back in time. Love it. So funny.
That's
also,
a standout joke, yeah.
The standout acting for me is I loved them coming back from, diving off the CN tower and just Jay's face looking at Matt after the rain. I'm just like, I've wasted 17 years of my life. What the hell is wrong with you? You pushed me off the CN tower and you're coming up with another dumbass plan.
Yep.
The facial expressions was so great.
Oh, I completely agreed. All the realization scenes and the focus on, hey, he's realizing, whether it was realizing, oh, we're back in time, or realizing my life has been wasted.
Yeah.
All that was super well done. And then the fun jokes themselves. It's funny because the dialogue's witty.
Yeah.
And it's fun to see. And any of the SNL-esque bits where they're just riffing, I kind of like how the dialogue itself felt like the mockumentary style, where they're going on too long, that it's not plot necessary, but it's for the bit, which again goes back to the theme of it of, hey, just we're committed to the CN Tower, time travel is just going to happen. They're also committed to the bits themselves, where how long are they going on about the what was the early bit they did? I also know there were different bits shown in screenings. Apparently, some were cut. There was some stuff that was in the Toronto Film Festival that aren't in the full release because genuinely there were some copyright issues or something like that. In the actual movie, which is another funny bit with the copyright license. What were some of the bits that went on long? Why am I blanking on them now? You know what I'm talking? Some of the bits where they just kept riffing. They were going on and on about
orbits. They went on for quite a while.
Orbits they did.
What's some other ones?
Oh, like he was making the skydiving, skydove. Giving all the versions of like, what is it with skydiving? And then what, man, damn it. I'm gonna think about it after we're done filming, but it was also another bit where he was just kind of going on a tangent when he was talking to Jay, of just riffing off into the distance of like talking about something else, and then got back to the plan. You guys seen the movie would know what we're talking about. But that also made it feel like the performances themselves and the dialogue made the characters feel more real and more mockumentary style. So all that, fantastic.
No, so they did a great job. The writing was really, really well done, and spectacular stuff.
Anything else for the movie? Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie.
Yeah, no, 4.5, spectacular movie. You got to go see it. If you got to this point, I'm hoping you've already seen it, but I don't know.
We didn't leave many details out, so
no, we did not.
They got spoiled pretty much the whole thing.
I'm glad. You know what? I'm just gonna assume you have seen it. I'm glad you watched it. Glad you got to participate. And, we get to talk it out here. Let us know what you thought down below in the comments. And did this movie surprise you? Did it come out of left field? Were you one of the people that really loved the show and actually, the web series, and then went to see this movie? How did you feel? Did this, actually exceed your expectations? Let us know down below.
See ya.
Bye.